Hi, my name is Connie McDonald. I'm the Assistant Director for the Center for Career Development.
And my name is Cheryl Colorini, and I am the Career Relations Manager.
Today we're going to be talking to you about interviewing. Specifically, we're going to be covering what you should do before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview.
Before the interview, you must know as much as possible about the employer and the industry. Do your research. Who are they? What do they do?
If you don't already have a LinkedIn account, you want to make sure to develop one, and then you're going to want to follow the company on LinkedIn to gain further information about the company that you may not have been able to find on their website. You want to prepare questions to ask after the interview. Ask what you want to know about the company and the experience you will have there. Make sure that your questions are relevant and specific to the position you are applying for. You'll know what to ask after you've done the research of the company. It's very important that they're specific to the job that you're applying for. You may want to schedule a mock interview with one of the career counselors at the Center for Career Development, which is located in Chiswick Hall. Typically they last an hour, and we will talk to you for the first 15 minutes about the basics of interviewing, and then we'll run through a structured interview. Another excellent tool that we have access to is called the Big Interview. The Big Interview is a combination of interview tutorials and also virtual interview practice, which allows you to video record yourself and then review the video file with one of the counselors, with faculty members, or with family. And you can do as many interviews as you want to do on Big Interview to prepare.
Before your interview, you want to be sure to get enough sleep. You want to look good and you want to think sharply. Stick to your normal breakfast routine. You want to make sure that you're not feeling weak. You want to be hydrated. And you also don't want your stomach to be making any funny noises while you're being interviewed. It's a long process. You might have several people that you'll be being interviewed by, and you may be there for a few hours. Lastly, dress professionally. You want to dress for success. For men, you're going to want to be conservative in a two-piece darker color suit, white shirt, contrasting tie. Make sure your shoes are polished. It's amazing how employers don't miss a trick. And also make sure that you have dress socks that match your suit. You want to be sure that your hair is trimmed, and make sure that your facial hair is neatly groomed. Also, light on the cologne and no earrings or no piercings. For the women, it's pretty much the same. A business suit. Pants are fine. It could also be a skirted suit, but you want to make sure of the length of your skirt, that you're comfortable when you're sitting. A simple style blouse or a crew neck shirt under your suit is fine. Again, it should be a white or soft color shirt. Make sure that you wear pumps or closed-toe shoes, and make sure that your hair is neatly groomed. You don't want it falling in your face or be playing with your hair whatsoever, for it not to be a distraction. Make sure that you're light on the perfume. You never know if the person that is interviewing you could be possibly allergic to your perfume. Minimal jewelry for girls, and understated natural makeup and nail polish. And pretty much your fingernails should not be very long in length. It should be a nice professional look.
During the interview, you're going to want to know where it is you're going, so you might want to be sure to Google it before you go if it's an unfamiliar city or location. Parking may be difficult, so you want to make sure you've navigated all of that beforehand. You want to arrive approximately 10 to 15 minutes early. That gives you a chance to compose yourself, use the restroom if you need to, and just get prepared for your interview. It's important that whomever greets you, it might be a receptionist or an assistant, that you greet each person in a friendly, open manner, and you want to be sure to use a nice, firm handshake. When they're asking you the questions, you want to answer in detail, but you need to be aware of the time limit you're using. Typically, answers are between 1.5 to 2 minutes in length, but you want to be sure to give specific examples to the questions. Maintain a strong eye contact, but you don't want to have a staring contest with your interviewer. And do not start to answer the question until the interviewer has completed asking it. It's important that you are aware of the interviewer's body language. You can read them if you're going on too long with your answer. Usually they'll try to break in to ask the next question. So be sensitive to body language, and by all means be sure, if you have your cell phone with you, to turn it off prior to going into the interview.
During the interview, you're going to want to demonstrate persistent optimism. I suggest smiling. By smiling, you are setting a tone that you're optimistic about this interview, and remember to never criticize others. You may be asked a question that the answer that you give will be on the negative side, but again, you want to flip that around to a positive critique, never being negative. Express your thoughts clearly and concisely. As Connie said, when you're making your answers, you want to make sure that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but do that in a short, concise manner. Show enthusiasm and confidence. That's what they love. You're coming from the University of Scranton, a Jesuit institution. So already you have the background that you need to get this great job. So you definitely want to show enthusiasm, and that shows that you're curious and very interested in their company.
Also during the interview, you want to stress your strong points. You want to give good examples of things that you've accomplished and done through your coursework, your part-time jobs, your internships, your volunteer work. Use examples that provide examples of your leadership, your communication skills, time management, that type of thing. Show interest in the job. The way you can do this is by demonstrating a knowledge of what the job entails, and you can gain this by doing the proper research. You want to express appreciation for the interview. Even if you're not sure if you want to work for the company, you always want to end things on a very positive note and be appreciative. Be sure to have some questions ready to ask the interviewer. That's very important. But that doesn't mean more questions are better. I would say 2 to 3 questions is more than adequate, and only ask things that you're genuinely interested in finding out about and things that you could not have found out on your own online.
After the interview, a thank you email within 24 hours is a necessity. You're going to want to reemphasize your strongest qualifications and reiterate your interest in the position. Draw attention to the good match between your qualifications and the job requirements, and express your sincere appreciation. In my role as the Career Relations Manager, I begin and end the day with the recruiters. It speaks volumes when you reach out to the recruiter within 24 hours, because that could be a make or break situation where 2 students might be on the fence. You have the same grade point average, the same skills. You both did a great job in the interview. Only one sent an email. Well, the person that sent the thank you email is going to be the one that receives the offer.
Also, after the interview, if you are fortunate enough to get an offer, there's some things you need to consider before you make your final decision about the job. The job content is something you want to think about. Can you picture yourself doing what this job entails for several months at a time? Can you see yourself in that environment? You want to consider the person who's going to be supervising you. You may have got some sense of what their management style is like, and from past experiences you may be able to determine if that's a fit for you and your personality. You certainly want to evaluate the salary and the benefits. Benefits are very important, which sometimes students forget to ask about and weigh into their decision. The salary requirement, depending upon the city or the location, does make a difference in terms of cost of living. You want to consider the people you're going to be working with. Are you going to be working with a team of people, or are you going to be working by yourself in a cubicle? Can you see yourself working with this team of people? When you had a tour of the company, did you feel comfortable? Did you like the feelings that you got. Did people seem happy and to be engaged and enjoying their work? You want to consider some of those things if that's important to you. Is the typical work week what you expected? In some industries, you work 9 to 5 and weekends off, but there are other industries where you're expected during certain seasons to possibly work 60 to 70 hours a week. Is that something that you're willing to do for this particular position? And finally, organizational flexibility. Although on this one, I would advise you if you're just entering the job market, I don't think you should expect a tremendous amount of flexibility on the organization's part until you prove yourself. But down the road, there may be opportunities for you to do some telecommuting, some work from home, how much travel is involved, those types of things. So you really want to consider all of these factors before you make your final decision.
This concludes our presentation on interviewing. We hope that you'll visit the Center for Career Development, located in Chiswick Hall on Mulberry Street. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. If you wanted to call, you can call us at 570-941-7640. And you can reach out to us through email at careers@scranton.edu. Our homepage is at www.scranton.edu/careers. Thank you.
We hope to see you soon.